Did Tom Brady throw shade at Ryan Tannehill? And has the backup quarterback situation been settled since Marcus Mariota? We're going to break that down and more. But again, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe, hit that like button, let your friends and family members know about the channel. We're doing some great things here at TD Titans Talk. As you know, we're under the umbrella of TD Sports Talk, all right? So make sure you check out that channel as well. This is where we are right now with TD Sports Talk. Over 1,000 subscribers. TD Fins Talk is leading the way, and all of the other channels have launched. So this is where we are. And crazy enough, Titans, out of the next launch, Titans are leading the way. So if you're a fan, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and let your friends and family members know about it as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some Titans football, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. Top 10 rankings were just released by CBS Sports, and they have the Tennessee Titans at number 5. And hey, before we even talk about not number 5, excuse me, number 9. But before we even talk about that, I want to let you know that they have the Colts at number 10. So the Tennessee Titans are leading the division. They're basically their division in the rankings. But here's the issue that I have. I don't think that the Tennessee Titans are number 9 in the NFL. I have to be honest. I would argue with anyone that they are a top 5 team in the NFL right now. We're talking about a high-powered offense who, admittedly, they did lose Jonnu Smith. They did lose Corey Davis, and it's like, oh, they are really going to take a hit. But bringing in Julio Jones eliminates that right away. You're talking about he will be a Hall of Famer. There's no question in that. Julio Jones will be a Hall of Famer, and he still has the juice, ladies and gentlemen. I truly do believe that they are a top 5 team. Now, those are their key losses. Losing Corey Davis is huge, and Jonnu Smith, but it's okay because Ryan Tannehill is an equal opportunity employer, okay? It doesn't matter who you are on the field. He's not looking for the specific guy. He's looking for the open guy. Ryan Tannehill is a master at hitting the open guy, making sure that he delivers the ball and gets it to the right person at the right time, ladies and gentlemen. But there were also some key additions that the Tennessee Titans made this year. Julio Jones, as we already spoke about, we don't even have to go into detail about that. Then you bring in Josh Reynolds. This is a 5th-year pro where he's going into his 5th year. He is off of that rookie contract, and it was a slow start for him in his career. But last year, he was more of a factor for his team, putting up 52 receptions and 618 yards and had a 64% completion percentage. And I'm going to be honest, that's huge to me, in my opinion, because with Ryan Tannehill being an equal opportunity employer when it comes to the quarterback position, guys like Josh Reynolds, those are the guys that you need. Nowhere near the talent that Julio Jones is, but he is the guy who you're going to hear his name often. You can look forward to him potentially coming up with 3 to 4 catches a game consistently because that's what Ryan Tannehill does, especially having A.J. Brown on one side, Julio Jones on another. You need guys like Josh Reynolds because they are the ones who are going to be eating all day, each and every time they have an opportunity to, because you got 2 big threats on the outside. But you also bring in a defensive end, Nico Autry, and not to mention linebacker Bud Dupree. Come on, it doesn't get any better than that. And Janoris Jenkins as well. Listen, you also go in the draft and you get key rookies like offensive tackle Dylan Reynolds in the 2nd round. You got Caleb Farley in the 1st round. Monty Rice in the 3rd round, the linebacker. You got Elijah Molden, the cornerback, in the 3rd round. You got Rashard Weaver, and defensive end in the 4th round. Then you get Racy McMath, the wide receiver, in the 6th. And then Brady Breeze, the safety, in the 6th. Let me tell you what that tells me with their key additions. They know where their weakness is. They know where they need help, ladies and gentlemen. The offense isn't the issue. They focused on the defense. Once again, free agency, defense, the Nico Autry at the defensive end, getting some of that pass rush with Cam Wake going down, and they released Cam Wake. He's no longer there. He wasn't able to contribute like they hope he would have. Linebacker Bud Dupree, you can never have enough help on the linebacking core, and Janoris Jenkins as well in the secondary. And guys, listen, like I said, when you went out and got Caleb Farley, this kid is going to be a day one starter. I know that the back injury concerns in the surgery. No. First of all, let's get something straight. He would have been a top 10 pick, if not top 5, had that last minute concern with injury had not come out. We're talking about a player who is generational talent, but we just got to make sure that injury doesn't linger or it doesn't affect him. But time always tells on situations like that. All I know is if he becomes the player that he was in college, you just got a steal late in the first round. Caleb Farley is a monster. He was the best defensive player coming off of the board had it not been for that late injury concern. So that was huge. But the Tennessee Titans, they went defense. In the draft, ladies and gentlemen, they only got 2 out of 7 offensive players. The offensive tackle, Dylan Reddens, and that was because you want to make sure you surefire that line and continue to protect Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is one of the greater quarterbacks in the NFL when he's protected. If you don't protect him, he is going to look average at best. Well, slightly above average at best. I put him with the, Derek Carrs of the world without protection. But with protection, Ryan Tannehill is top 5 in the NFL. If you look at it in the last 20 starts, he's put up better numbers than Patrick Mahomes. You have to keep him protected. They did that in the second round. They go get a wide receiver in the 6th. And outside of that, free agency and the draft, defense. They know where their weakness is. They've addressed those weaknesses, and they are going to make this team better. So I don't have the Titans being top 10. I truly have them being top 5, and their defense should definitely be better this year. Mike Vrabel coming from the Belichick tree, defensive minded. It's time to fix the defense. And once they do that, man, this team will be feared by many. You're still going to have to compete with the Bucs. You're still going to have to compete with the Chiefs. You're still going to have to compete with Buffalo. You're still going to have to compete with the Packers. But I truly do put the Titans at number 5. That's where I would rank them right now. But moving on, Tom Brady, did he throw shade at Ryan Tannehill recently? Yes, I know you all heard. It's been all over the television. Tom Brady was a guest on The Shop, the TV show that LeBron James started. Draymond Green was present, and Tom Brady basically outlined his free agency experience. And he said there was one team at the end that pulled out on him. They basically said, no, we're no longer interested. Now, there has been speculation that was the Los Angeles Chargers with Tyrod Taylor, and rightfully so. If it was Tyrod Taylor, I would have said myself, you're going to keep going with that guy? But the Chargers had a plan in place, so they went and got Herbert, so they knew what they were going to do, so they end up getting the last laugh anyway. But there are also people who are adamant, people going on the record to say, no, it was the Tennessee Titans and Ryan Tannehill who Tom Brady was throwing shade at. But hold on, Titans fans. Let me make something clear, okay? Because I followed Tannehill's entire career. I am a huge Ryan Tannehill fan. I want to put that into perspective. If it is Ryan Tannehill, then there is a reason why Tom Brady said, you're going to stick with this guy. It can't be because of Ryan Tannehill's skill, because Ryan Tannehill has played better football than Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady in the last 2 years. So, of course, they should have stuck with Ryan Tannehill. And according to the front office of Tennessee Titans, Tannehill re-signing him was always the play. But if he was talking about Ryan Tannehill, let me let you in on a little secret, Titans fans. It's hate. It is hate. Now, I know you meant, why would Tom Brady want to hate on Ryan Tannehill? He's the GOAT. Listen, it's hate because Tom Brady is the most competitive person that I know outside of Michael Jordan. That's what makes greatness, competitiveness. And guess why he would hate on Ryan Tannehill? because he has his worst record in the NFL against Ryan Tannehill. The one quarterback who has the most wins versus Tom Brady is Ryan Tannehill at 5 W's. Okay? That is a fact, and he hates it. He doesn't like it. Okay? The Miami Dolphins in general, they have an overall 23-12 record against Tom Brady. Now, mind you, that's going to be more than other people because he's in the division. He was in the division, AFC East, for so long. But when you put it into perspective, the Buffalo Bills have a record of 32-3 against him. Trash. The New York Jets have like a record of 22-7. Trash. But the Dolphins have a record of 23-12, if I'm not mistaken. He's taken his most losses from the Miami Dolphins, and head-to-head against any quarterback, he has lost the most, but to Ryan Tannehill. Now, he has the advantage in the head-to-head. He's 5-6. They've played head-to-head 11 times, but Ryan Tannehill has the most victories against Tom Brady at 5-6. 5-6. Okay, Ryan Tannehill has won 5 and lost 6. So that's why he might have thrown shade if it's true. He's hating on the man because Tom Brady hates the Dolphins. And since he hates the Dolphins in this era, he hated Ryan Tannehill because he got those victories on him. It's a part of the GOAT's resume that he cannot escape, the head-to-head battles with Ryan Tannehill. And if they meet again, AFC Championship game or whatever it is, if they meet again, I got to go check the schedule. I don't know if they play this year, but if they meet again, Tom Brady is coming for blood. But if he takes the next loss by Ryan Tannehill, he ain't going to retire at 45. He going to retire at 50 until he can go out above him, because one more loss to Ryan Tannehill and he's 500. And, you know, Tom Brady, he doesn't want that. Now, only one team in the entire NFL has a winning record against Tom Brady, but it was only 3 games. And that is the Seattle Seahawks at 1-2. That's the only team that has a winning record against Tom Brady. But the quarterback to put up the most W's, Ryan Tannehill, ladies and gentlemen. Now, speaking of quarterbacks, I believe that the Tennessee Titans have found their official backup since Marcus Mariota. We all know the story. Marcus Mariota was the starter for the Titans for so long, just couldn't get the offense moving enough to feel comfortable to continue to move. Then the Tennessee Titans get the steal of the century, trading with the Miami Dolphins to get Ryan Tannehill. And a lot of people don't know the Dolphins actually paid Tennessee to trade him. If you go look at the details of the contract, which to me is like one of the biggest steals ever. Tannehill sits, patiently waits, balls out in practice, but just humble and quiet. Mariota does what he usually does, play good enough to not be good, and insert Ryan Tannehill. And the rest is history. He's been a great quarterback for the Titans ever since. But the problem is they lost Marcus Mariota, and they don't have a backup. But Deshaun Kaiser has shined in mini camps, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Deshaun Kaiser, he's going to be the backup. Obviously, there isn't even close to a competition. You know, he's had a career where it just hasn't worked out. He was drafted by the Browns, number 52 overall in 2017. And we know where that went. They end up drafting Baker Mayfield. He has a career completion percentage of 53.6%, 11 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. That's just not going to get it done anywhere in this league, all right? But as a backup, he's a very good, viable option. And the coaches are loving what they're seeing in mini camps so far. Well, mini camps is over now, but they love what they saw, and they feel real comfortable with him moving forward and being the backup, because his game and Tannehill's game is very similar. Tannehill's a lot more accurate. Tannehill has much more of a cannon in accuracy. But at the same token, I think this is a great guy that you could help develop who has pro experience. And if you protect Tannehill, you shouldn't need to use him anyway. But if you ever need to use him, he can come in and play. So he's won some games. But, you know, it just didn't look pretty in the process. He's lost a lot of games, too, for the Browns. I think that was also that he played a season where they didn't win a game or something like that, I believe. But either way, he's looking good in the mini camps, and they're liking what they see. So with that being said, listen, I believe you found your backup quarterback. You'll still explore some other options, but I would say give the man a chance. Let him come in if he's making that type of jump. We see what the organization has done with Ryan Tannehill, refining his game. See what you can do with Kaiser. Maybe you can bring a really good quality backup out of him, and I believe he will make the roster this season as Ryan Tannehill's backup. But that is your news for today for the Titans. Thank you again for tuning in to TD Titans Talk, home of the real Tennessee Titan fans. Again, make sure you go check out TD Sports Talk, the mother channel of all of TD Talks. And also, this is where we are. Subscribe if you're new. If you like all football, subscribe to TD Sports Talk. And if you love hearing commentary from any of these other teams, make sure that you subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Love you guys. Peace. We're out.